Hello and welcome in. It's Patrick, guys, giving you guys a quick message from our friends over at The Fan Stop. The Fan Stop is a subscription-based college apparel company. Yep, you heard me right. It's subscription-based, which means each month you get an awesome t-shirt from The Fan Stop. And guess what? We've got a promo code for you. Our promo code is DAGUYZ, DAGUYZ, DAGUYZ. And that gets you 15% off your first 6 months of t-shirts. The Fan Stop has two options. The first one being their premium option, which includes long sleeve t-shirts and hoodies during the winter months. And then their standard option is just a t-shirt every single month. The premium option runs you about $27, while the standard option runs you about $22 a month, meaning it is very affordable. It's more affordable than your local Walmart and other online retailers you could get for your college swagger. So go ahead and check out The Fan Stop. And not only are their t-shirts super, super comfortable, they have all sizes as well. So from kids sizes all the way up to 5XL. So go check them out. Use our promo code DAGUYZ. That is DAGUYZ for 15% off your first 6 months. And as always, thank you guys so much for listening and keep pushing it, baby.
3, 2, 1, go!
There's not one guy, one person in the history of this program that's bigger than the program.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
What's up and welcome into the Program Guys Podcast, episode number 24. Today is Thursday, June 23rd. Be sure to like us on Instagram, Program Guys with a Z. Be sure to like us or follow us on Twitter at Program Guys with a Z. Subscribe to us on your podcast, wherever you get them, Program Guys Podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel as well. That's Program Guys Podcast. You can find us there. Boys, the Oklahoma Sooners are 2 wins away from being your baseball national champs. It is a great day to be a Sooner. We're going to start off the show in a different order. A little exciting.
Ooh.
We're going to start with circling those wagons.
Oh, we're going to start with
Gan. We got to start from the top. We're recording this on Wednesday evening, so we just saw the Oklahoma Sooners knock off Texas A&M for the second time, beat that butt. Oklahoma now awaits the winner of Arkansas and Ole Miss. We will find out who wins that game tomorrow. But, Matt, take it away.
Yeah, a lot of pressure, guys. Going first. I mean, that's
here you are. Time to shine, baby.
I had no idea in the outline today that was going to be the case. So I appreciate you putting me on the spot. Mason, guys, what year does it feel like to you guys? Because I'm feeling like it might be a feeling like 1994, boys.
Feels like 94, baby.
That means
last time
you were born.
Year I was born. I mean, it only makes sense. And the last time OU won a national baseball championship. And it's the exact same setup that happened in 94. It happened in 1951. Both times OU has gone to the College World Series and won the first 2 games. They've gone on to win the Natty championship. I'm feeling good. How about you guys? What do you guys think of the World Series so far? OU, I want to get your thoughts on it before I hit in some stats.
Can't get enough of the pitching, man. I can't get enough of the pitching. It's
good.
Every starter seems like they're able to carry us 6 innings at least. And that's just something you don't see.
I want to give credit to a couple of the guys who I'm a big baseball guy. I love baseball. For Mark, who, and I think you could agree to this, you're not a big baseball guy, but you are locked in. You're locked into this run and you know what's happening. I think that's kind of the effect that this team has on Sooner Nation, is just because they are so exciting to watch. This is such a kind of improbable run that they've been on. They haven't lost back-to-back games since April. Like it's insane. It's so nuts. And there's so, like Mark said, the pitching is fantastic. I love watching Peyton Graham just bat.
Do everything.
The dude, he has a multi-hit game every game.
Yeah,
it's insane to watch him swing a bat, because you look at him and he doesn't look like he should be able to do anything athletically whatsoever. And he steals bases, he fields well, he hits well, he's the whole package. I'm a big Peyton Graham fan.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned, Mark, you said it, the pitching. It's Justin Sandlin, it's Jake Bennett, and it's Cade Horton. It's not just one guy. It's 3 starting pitchers. And what OU has done well is got the other team starting pitcher out quick.
Yeah.
Getting a lot of pitches, getting multiple pitchers. I think every team we faced so far has gone at least 2 to 3, even 4 or 5 pitchers deep. And we have starting pitchers who go to 6 and 7. And then we bring in our closer, Trevian Michael, to close out the game. It is a absolute nasty
we had gotten 70, 80 something pitches on their starter through the 4th inning. Just tons of pitches on that arm. And then, I mean, shout out to brother of our brother, Jacob Polish. He really brought it to us today.
Yeah, great game.
You notice we got 1 run in, maybe 2 runs in.
I think one. I think he had 1 earned run. That was really good for him.
Man, he laid it out there, and obviously, shout out to us. We got it done, but it was a fun game to watch because once he came in, they were locked in too.
Yeah, I thought it was an awesome game to watch. Specifically, I just felt like we had control of the game the entire time. I was only nervous one time when they had a player on first and third. We had 0 outs, and then Dustin Samlin just strikes out 3 guys in a row. I was like, all right, we have complete control here. He's totally in the zone. It's awesome. So super fun game to watch. Also would love to mention that UT baseball sucks and UT continues to suck. And I'm really glad that we also just wiped out the Aggies in 2 games easy.
Always got to get in there, Pat, right?
Yeah.
Little horns down action. Guys, got to give you the last. Go ahead, Jason, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it's going to be an all SEC final, guys.
I know.
Like
it really is. It really is.
Like it should be.
Like it should be.
It just means more.
To Mark's point about the batting and like getting pitches on those opposing pitchers' arms. That's how OU has done so well, is because they work those counts and they make the pitcher throw a lot of pitches, get walks when other teams are swinging it at strikes in the dirt like Texas A&M was doing today. There was multiple times that the commentators for ESPN were talking about how the Texas A&M batters don't swing at pitches out of the zone. Somebody didn't tell Dustin Sandlin that, because those dudes were swinging at balls in the dirt all day long. So either Dustin Sandlin is dealing some nasty ass stuff, or the ESPN commentators didn't watch any baseball. And I think that's not the case. I think Dustin Sandlin was just that good.
Guys, his name is David.
David.
Want to point this out. Everyone's been saying Dustin.
David.
Listeners are going to call us out. His
I
name
know.
is David. We know his name is David. All right.
Yeah, we do.
Continue.
He's painting the corners though, man. He is, and he's right outside of where the strike zone is on either side, such that, man, there are balls that look like balls that they're calling strikes that these guys aren't swinging on, and then they're just thinking about it the next time too. So yes, David Sandlin has been playing great.
That's a tough look for us. I promise we all watched the game. I swear we did.
No, Pat started it off.
Yeah,
He said
I don't
it
know why I started it
confidently.
off.
He said it confidently, and Mason was like, "Yeah, that sounds right. Let's just keep diving in."
Yeah, that's called just blind listening.
I do want to touch on one thing with David. They put him in for 1 inning against, was it A&M previously? I believe first game. Yeah, they put him in for 1 inning, and he was terrible. He walked like 4 people in a row.
Gave up 4 runs too.
Yeah, gave up 4 runs, and then came into this and had a chip on his shoulder and completely dominated. So, he was fantastic. We got him through 7 innings, which is even more than we got from like Horton in the past couple games, where we got him through 6. I mean, just super, super impressive by him.
Go ahead, Matt, with your stats. I want to hear those stats that you have.
There's a good balance, right, between hitting and pitching, and what OU does a really good job of is jumping out early, right? The first inning of this game, we jump out to a 3-0 lead, right? That only gives the pitchers more confidence that they got runs, they got insurance to be able to deal, just like Cade Horton and David Sandlin have done. So the last 2 games for Cade went 6 innings, only gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, 11 strikeouts. Today, the Sandman enters for redemption, just like Tyson said. Gives up 4 runs in that first game to A&M, comes back this game against A&M, 7 innings, 5 hits, only 1 run, 12 strikeouts. That is an incredible stat line for 2 fantastic pitchers. They're going to need that going into the Champ Series against whoever they play. But the biggest thing is the offense is getting out to early leads, giving our pitchers way more confidence going into it. And you can just clearly see they are absolutely dealing.
And with the other games going on between Arkansas and Ole Miss, we don't know how that game's going to end. I think Arkansas is up right now. So if Arkansas wins on Wednesday night, that means they have another game on Thursday to decide that bracket, and OU will play the winner of Ole Miss and Arkansas. If you're Oklahoma, you want Arkansas to win tonight. You want Ole Miss and Arkansas to have to put more pitchers out there, have more innings on those arms, because the way that OU's hitting right now, no pitching staff can contain them. They look so good and they're so locked in on the plate. Watching them in that first inning and that second inning was just something to behold, because the Texas A&M pitcher couldn't do anything right. Just nothing. It was amazing.
That's exactly what happened with Notre Dame. That's exactly what happened with A&M before them. I mean, this team has won 13 out of 15 in basically the postseason.
Yeah.
Like, that is so impressive, and they're undefeated in Omaha. So they're going into the championship series on a high that, I mean, the only other team that can say that they're undefeated through this is Ole Miss. So we're going to see what happens through that. But I don't know. I'm excited about it. I can't wait to go to the bar with the Dallas Bros and check this out. So I'm excited.
Fun.
Absolutely. Now, I just wanted to cap off one quick thing, a historic stat that I took a look at here earlier. They mentioned it in the broadcast. The OU baseball team has the ability to achieve something no university has ever done, which is winning a softball national title and a baseball title in the same exact year. There have been a couple of teams that have won softball, but then ended up losing in the championship. The last one was in 2011 when the UCLA women won softball, but the men lost baseball. So OU, not only baseball, but historically as a program, can be the first ones to achieve this historic feat. And they're hotter than any other team coming into that champ series. So whoever they got to play, Arkansas, Ole Miss, it's going to be a tough outing for either one of those teams.
Two wins.
Yeah, 2 more wins. Speaking of softball, you're probably going to touch on softball right here in a second, but shout out to Jordy Ball in the stands today to watch OU program gal. You got to support that stuff, especially with the football players going to support the women in Oklahoma City. For Jordy Ball to make that trip to Omaha and watch those boys, that's pretty awesome, pretty sick.
Super cool.
Question: Do we think Venables will be at the championship series?
100%.
Yeah, so he'll be there.
He'll be there because they're not doing anything. He can't be at like workouts all the time. I don't think. I think has limited availability with the players. I think only Schmitty can see the players for most of it, right? Is that right or wrong?
I don't know if it's right or wrong, but it feels good.
Yeah.
The guys are like, oh shit, it's just Schmitty.
By what I mean, like, they can't practice and stuff. Like, I think they can meet with position coaches and stuff like that. But Brent can escape for a day to go to a series, especially on the weekend when the players aren't doing anything anyway. So I think he can.
Oh, but if he's not there, he's relaxing on an island somewhere because he deserves it.
That's right.
Oh, I'm sure he's recruiting or doing something.
I know.
ABC.
That dude does not take days off.
ABC, always be recruiting. All right, go ahead, Gam.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's baseball for you. So we'll see what happens this upcoming weekend. Super excited for them to take the mound against whoever the opponent is. Give me whoever. I really don't care at this point. It's all OU. But do have some other news. OU softball just keeps adding to their already stacked roster, right? We've already added a great pitcher from Michigan in the transfer portal last week. Now we're adding a all Pac-12 shortstop from Arizona State, Elena Torres, who batted .339, had 16 home runs and 40 ribbies last year for the Sun Devil women. So
is that something people say?
It is now.
Ribbies?
Oh yeah, that's a
very
thing.
Baseball.
That's a thing.
That's a baseball thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
I know baseball. You know what I mean?
No,
I'm wearing a shirt.
Look at his shirt. Look at his shirt.
You see this? It says baseball.
Did you get that? Where'd you get that?
Bring up the shirt for so long.
Listen,
watch on our
okay.
YouTube channel. Watch on our YouTube channel to see Matt's OU baseball shirt. Gotta support it.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So this will hopefully replace Janet Johns at third base, who transferred in, obviously won a Natty, but now going to obviously graduate. So hopefully she will take one of the infield spot. It'll be interesting to see how Gasso moves around the infield a little bit with some of those girls graduating. But the softball team just keeps adding more and more, and they're filling in the depth of what they need to. We got the pitcher to replace Hope, and hopefully Torres to replace Janet Johns. So we got to continue to fill in what those girls did for the team last year. But I don't doubt there will be some more news from the transfer portal. The recruits coming in will be ready and loaded for another season to the Natty for a three-peat. So we'll see. The only other news I had for OU, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, Oklahoma women's rowing, their head coach is retiring after 14 years.
Only head coach we've ever had.
That's
Only
awesome.
head coach we ever had. That is absolutely correct. That's why I had to bring it up after 14 years. Wish her the best for retirement. Who knows about women's rowing, but they'll get a new head coach, and it'll be the second person only. So,
Program gal through and through.
Program gal for sure.
Program gal through and
absolutely.
through.
But that's it. Hopefully go OU baseball. Let's see.
All
it.
right. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. Let's recap a little bit of the NBA Finals. It was about a week ago that it ended, but we haven't had a show since then. So we'll just real quickly, the Golden State Warriors win in 6 games. My Boston Celtics fall. They look absolutely terrible. I'm not going to rehash all this stuff because we talked about it in the last episode. The Celtics did all those things I said they couldn't do, and that's why they lost. It's plain and simple. I will go to my deathbed believing that the Warriors weren't the better team and the Celtics beat themselves, but that's what you got to deal with, you know. Like, the Warriors are who we thought they were. They're one of the best shooting teams of all time, and if you don't play good defense and you have stupid turnovers, they're going to make you pay, and they did in 6 games. Boom.
Yeah, I think the only thing I wanted to comment was, does this make Steph Curry a top 10 player all time based on now his accolades?
I already thought he was.
He's NBA Finals now. Is he considered top 10? I mean, that's a pretty hefty thing to do, but his accolades are pretty
personally,
pretty
if you're the best shooter of all time, flat out period, I think you're top 10 no matter what. So
because Ray Allen wasn't before Steph, and Reggie Miller wasn't either. So I just think it's the way Steph is.
Okay.
What do you think, Mark? Is he top 10? Would you
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of guys you have to consider, right? Because there's a lot of guys and a lot of people who have done a lot of things, and it's hard to know. Probably, though. Probably. When you just think about it.
Got the wheels turning.
This one
changed
kind of
basketball.
changed it.
He changed basketball.
Yeah, he's transcendent, right?
Yeah.
3-point shooting. He is the one that brought that to the NBA, like, full circle, right?
I think he's absolutely there.
Yeah.
You got to put him in that.
Is he above Tim Duncan?
I knew you were going to ask this question. I knew that was coming.
That's where you start to slot it in, right? Okay, so let's say
Sure.
say
that was the
top
previous
5
number 10.
in some order is Jordan, LeBron, Kareem, Bill Russell.
Mhm.
You know what?
Kobe.
Let's go 6. Put Larry Bird, Magic, Patrick. I love you, baby. Now we start getting into Kobe,
Mhm.
Tim Duncan,
Tim.
Steph, Shaquille O'Neal,
Yeah.
Wilt. I haven't even said Wilt. He's probably above some of these guys. So who are you putting Steph above all those guys, Matt Gann?
I mean, it's tough. I mean, like you said, I think it comes down to 7 through 10. I think 1 through 6 is pretty solidified, I think, in my book, but I think you can almost make an argument through 7 through 10, I think, for
Unless
any
he
of
gets
those
to
guys.
5. If he gets to 5, suddenly I think he's knocking on Magic and Larry's door.
Yeah.
Right.
Mark mentioning Wilt made me think of this real quick. Have you guys ever heard that Wilt Chamberlain story with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in there in the elevator?
No.
And they get in an elevator and some random stranger looks at Wilt and he goes, "Oh, hey, Wilt, how's the weather up there?" And Wilt looks down on him and spits on him. He says it's raining. He's a psycho.
That is top 10 for sure. Top 10, baby,
Wilt
right there.
Chamberlain's a psycho.
Oh,
He
my
is
God.
insane. But yeah, that's
Certified stick man, though.
Yeah.
You know what
Oh,
I mean? It's
all right.
Googleable.
Anybody else? Anything on the NBA Finals?
Did anyone call it right from us?
Ryan had Warriors in 6, didn't you?
I had Warriors in 7.
You had Warriors in 7. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Well, then no,
but-
nobody got it right.
Guys, I had Warriors in 6.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I
Oh,
did.
did you
Did you
really?
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 Yes.
I thought you picked the Celtics.
Bring up the clip.
I know.
Bring up the
Every once
clip.
in a while, the guys are like, should we kick
No,
Pat off the
here's the
pod? But I
thing.
guess we got to keep him.
Patrick, didn't
one-
you like change your thing like 3 times?
No,
It's
I
like, I
actually-
feel like this.
No,
I
that's
actually
his
went
NFL
back.
team.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. Yeah.
No.
That's true. Who is it? Who is it today, Pat? Are you back on the Baltimore train?
Yeah, actually, we are today. We'll talk about that later.
Oh,
But no,
yikes.
if anyone's curious, it was episode 20, 10 minutes, 34 seconds in.
He had it
I love
timestamped.
Pat.
I love
Of
it,
course,
man.
he had
I
a
love you, man.
timestamp.
Pat, you're the best. All right. Way to go, Patrick. The one
Thank you.
time we don't have a competition and there's no punishment.
I know.
Patrick wins.
I
You gotta love it.
know.
Okay, Matt, you have 20 seconds. Go. Hockey.
All right,
go.
20 seconds. Stanley Cup's
Wait,
still going
real
on.
fast. NBA
What?
draft is about to happen.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
I just real
skipped.
fast want to say,
I know.
I think
yeah.
Matt's Thunder, are they your Thunder still? I don't really get with you anymore.
Thunder, Mavs.
They're gonna take Chet Holmgren, and it's not
Most
gonna
likely.
work. And the Rockets are gonna take Paolo and have new Carmelo Anthony next to new Kobe Bryant next to new Pau Gasol for the rest of the decade, and it's gonna be awesome.
I mean, amazing.
That's all I wanted to say.
Happy for you.
Thanks, man.
Super
Happy
happy,
for you.
for you and Jalen
Drinking the
Grant, man.
Kool-Aid.
Love it.
Drinking the Kool-Aid.
Okay. All right, Matt. Now your 20 seconds starts now.
Gotcha. NHL Stanley Cup, Avs up 2-1. They won game 2, 7-0. First time in NHL history where the team that came back actually won game 3 after losing 7-0. Lightning looking to tie it up tonight with a game 4 victory. We'll see what happens. Patrick, fun fact, go.
Okay, real quick. There's 2 guys, and all right, no, but in all seriousness, fun fact about NHL hockey: Corey Perry and Pat Maroon are both playing. Corey Perry plays for Tampa Bay, and Pat Maroon plays for the Avs. If Pat Maroon wins, this will be the 4th year in a row he wins the Stanley Cup with 2 different teams. If Corey Perry loses, this will be his 3rd year in a row losing with 3 different teams.
Crazy.
Brutal.
Very
I didn't have
nice.
enough time to get in there,
Brutal.
Patrick, so I'm glad you had that because I know the boys wouldn't let me talk about it.
Yeah.
So appreciate you coming
We
in.
just love
Okay.
hockey here.
We love
Yeah,
hockey.
we do. All right, some NFL news to get to today. Rob Gronkowski announced his retirement on Wednesday morning. He is no longer going to be playing football, quote unquote. We'll see what happens. Anybody buy the retirement?
don't.
No,
No.
I bought Brady's retirement, and then look what happened. So
Yeah.
I've been
To be
burned
fair,
once.
this is-
I'm not
this
going to
is
burn
Gronk's-
twice.
This is Gronk's second retirement, though.
I know.
So, so
3rd time's the charm.
My prediction is he sits out most of the season. Someone gets hurt on the Bucks. Brady gives him a call, and he plays. Like maybe they keep him on the roster. I don't know.
and I'm not Mark. You may know just because I feel like you're more in touch with contract situations than me. Does Tampa Bay still own his rights, or did his contract expire and that's why he
Yeah.
retired?
I think that he signed a 1-year deal with the
Okay.
Bucks when he signed. So I think that he would have been free to sign anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I think he actually had conversations with the Bills at one point, but no, I don't think that they would they don't have the contract with him, I don't think.
Gotcha. Okay. Is he the
And that
greatest?
could all be wrong. That could all
Who
be
knows?
wrong.
Who knows? Hey, we already called the dude Dustin Sandlin for 5 minutes. So what a great start we're off to. Anybody? Is he the greatest tight end of all time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim or
Probably.
Tony Gonzalez in a 10.
I had Tony, so that's fair. I think he's the biggest personality, and when you think of tight ends, you're going to think of Gronk first. But I think the greatest one is probably Tony. That's just my opinion.
I think Tony was the best at being a tight end, but Rob Gronkowski is just so big, and he's just athletic in a different kind of way. So I love Tony Gonzalez so much.
Yeah, I love Tony a lot too. I think also you got to do the same thing that you do with Belichick and Brady. I mean, he hitched his wagon to Brady for so long, and that had a lot to do with it.
Right.
I mean,
If Tony Gonzalez is not catching passes from Trent Green for half his career in Kansas City, then maybe he is a different player entirely.
When the Chiefs were dog water, by the way, the Chiefs were terrible, and Tony Gonzalez was still putting up numbers. Dude was a freak.
Yeah,
So go ahead,
just
Matt.
real quick. I had it actually in the outline. I had to erase it because I didn't want this particular person to have some insight on this pop question that I love to
Here we
do.
go.
But resident football expert Pat Hertzberger, I want you to give me. I want you to give me your top 3 tight ends of all time.
Mark Andrews, Rob Gronkowski, Travis Kelce.
I'm okay with that.
I'm fine. Move on.
I'm okay with that.
I really want to think of a fourth.
Well, we already named one.
They just
named one. Yeah.
Technically
Tony
two.
G. Not very good with names.
I
obviously.
forgot his name.
I love you, Patrick.
Resident football expert. I just want to see if you knew more than just the current tight ends in the NFL.
Yeah,
you didn't name one other than, I mean, Rob's retired.
She was
but you didn't name one
retired.
other guy. Yeah.
Patrick, can you name one retired tight end? Anyone that played for the Texans, maybe?
Well, the Texans are always they have like 3 or 4. They're all trash all the time.
Okay.
So Griffin.
That doesn't. No, he's great.
Ryan Griffin. Yeah, he's still in the NFL.
I was looking for like maybe.
Ryan
I was
Griffin's
looking
not
for
tight
maybe
end?
like Owen Daniels or something. Pat.
Yeah,
You
that
remember
guy
him?
sucked.
He's literally just like throwing names out.
Best
It's
tight
okay.
end they've
Griffin.
ever had on that team.
It's okay.
Resident football expert Patrick Hertzberger. Thank
I'm
you
right
so
here.
much. We love to see it.
Fantasy football winner.
This is sorry to darken the mood real quick, boys, but I feel like it's worth noting that Tony Siragusa, former Baltimore Raven, did pass away on Wednesday, and they also lost a linebacker, Ferguson, who was
26-year-old Jalen Ferguson.
Yeah, that tough day for the Ravens. It
Condolences
was really
for sure.
Tough day
really
for
hard.
football, man. That's
I know.
really sad.
It really is. I mean, 26 years old, and he was a productive part of that team for 3 seasons, from what I read.
Yeah, apparently he was going through some personal stuff. Had
Really?
lost a grandmother or someone, I think a grandmother recently, and hadn't been responding well. So
It's not
really
good,
sad.
man.
Really sad. And then Tony Siragusa, so that's really sad too. Apparently his father died of a heart attack only 7 years ago. And
Yeah,
um
Tony Siragusa was 55.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
nuts.
That's too young.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Too young. Too young. Thoughts and condolences to the Baltimore Ravens and the fan base. Moving on to OU football news, little bit lighter subject now. OU football. The ESPN chairman Jimmy Pitaro reaffirms that Oklahoma and Texas going to be in the Big 12 until 2025 when their grant of rights. Or is it the grant of rights or what? It's their
Media
media
or the Big
Yeah.
12.
whenever
whatever
their
thing,
Big 12
right.
agreement runs out. I always get confused with the terminology. Grant of rights is like for what the Big 12 agrees upon with TV deals and yada yada. Okay. So is this something we expected? I don't think they last till 2025.
I don't think so either.
I think we
that's
do.
the whole thing. I think they're playing this year by year, and they're going to say 2025 until next year when they try to rework it again.
Yeah.
I personally feel we need the 3 seasons to get ready. And I'm personally okay with 2025 for that reason.
Sure, but that's like a different conversation.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to rush
the
it.
media rights thing, like where we land
I-
next year or the year after.
I agree with what you're saying, Patrick, but I think it's going to be earlier than that. Like I would be fine being in the Big 12 for 3 more seasons. I wouldn't be super upset about it because I agree that OU needs to kind of get their feet under them in this new SEC world that they're about to enter into, especially with a new head coach who needs some time to get his program built together the way that he wants it. But I think money talks, and I think they're going to be out sooner rather than later.
I might go against the grain here, but I don't want to stay. I don't think it's a good idea to stay. I think if we can get out, we should get out. I totally understand, like, let's prepare, let's do all of that stuff, but we're never really going to be prepared. Like, we just got to like jump into the deep end, I think, at some point, whether that be 2025, 2023, whenever it's going to be. I also think that the ESPN Plus deal that we just made is strategic. And I think that is going to come into play. I know this is the ESPN chairman saying this, but, it could be all smoke. I hope we go next year. That's my opinion.
Good take.
Mark, Matt.
I mean, I was just saying the relationship is so sour at this point. Like, we don't want to be here. Neither does Texas. They don't want us to be here, especially the way everything kind of went about, right? It just came out all of a sudden. Hey, we're leaving. But again, that's after years of having bad TV spots, not getting nationally recognized for both the two biggest programs in the Big 12. So I agree, sooner versus rather than later. But again, I don't know the whole contract terminology deal, what that actually means. I know there's a bunch of penalties involved, heavy amounts of money. Not saying that OU and Texas couldn't take care of that, but I don't think we're staying until 2025. I'd be really, really surprised. Another 3 seasons, maybe one more, maybe 2. I don't see 3.
I tend to think that we need to get ready for the SEC argument is only really true for the infrastructure we have in place, the funding that we have put towards buildings and facilities and recruiting efforts, the way that those schools do. If you look at our recruiting class this year and the last few years, we're better at recruiting than half the teams in the SEC already, right? More than that, maybe, probably. I don't know. I haven't looked at it today, but we have all those guys already. We have those athletes. We haven't had coaches that develop athletes. We've had coaches that play scheme games. And now we're going to have coaches that develop athletes. And I think that you're going to see the kind of SEC level talent getting coached to SEC level standards now. And it's going to be a different product. I think we'd be ready to compete this year if the cards fell that way.
Okay. We'll see what happens. Obviously 2022 season coming up very quickly. In the recruiting world for the Oklahoma Sooners, Marvin Burks Jr. received an offer from Brent Venables' staff. He's a 4-star safety from St. Louis, 6'2", 190 pounds. That's a sizable defensive back. I feel like that's what Brent Venables and his staff are doing. They continue to get these guys who are over 6 foot tall and have some body to them. I think that's what we're going to see in the future. You see a lot of Clemson in these defensive backs that he's recruiting. I feel like Clemson had a lot of sizable defensive backs when Brent was there as well.
AJ Terrell.
Yeah. Exactly.
And their defense was fantastic. So
yeah, exactly. So we'll see what happens there. And last thing on the OU football front, CBS Sports has a win-loss total for the Oklahoma Sooners set at 9.5. How we feel?
I mean, what? That's 3 losses would be under. 2 losses.
Yeah, 3
would be
losses.
over,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
12 games.
Yeah.
No, I think that's bullshit.
Yeah,
There it is.
I totally agree.
There it is.
I would hammer the over. The over.
Hammer.
Because, dude, I've said this time and time again. I don't know who in the Big 12 is going to be any good. I legit don't. Like Baylor, maybe.
Baylor and maybe Texas. That's all I look at.
Like, okay, say you lose those 2. I had someone today talk to me about Bedlam and asked me if I was scared of Bedlam. Hell no, I'm not scared. I'm not scared at all.
They lost everybody. They lost their defensive coach.
Oklahoma State needed OU's head coach and play caller to be halfway out the freaking door to win by a single score.
In Stillwater.
Like, what are you talking about?
What are we talking about? They think that they win a single game. Lincoln Riley walks out the door and it's a whole freaking change in the paradigm.
Yeah.
No, sir. No, sir. Big brother took a step back to take 2 forward. Calm down. Put yourself back in your seat.
Exactly. So, long story short, I'm taking the over. I'm not saying they're going to win 11 or 12 games, but I think 10 is an easy bet in my mind. Easy bet in my mind.
Yeah.
Easy.
I mean, I think the main risk is like Mark said, Texas and Baylor. Aranda is a great coach, and Texas is a crapshoot every year. So who knows?
I'd still say Nebraska on the road. First home run.
We'll be fine.
That'll
That could
the
be
biggest
tough too.
I'm telling you, I've said this multiple times. that game will really help me determine the rest of the season. How we go up there, it's going to be an absolutely rowdy environment.
That is the first away game, isn't it?
Yep.
It's
also true road away game.
It's also the first like Power 5 game as well. So
that part I don't care as much about.
Well, that should be like our first test, right?
And
like if we lose to Kent State,
it's a tough place to have your first test.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
I'm so confident in Brent Venables and this coaching staff that we will be more ready for the Nebraska game than any other game, and we're going to go in and smoke them. It's not going to be a competition.
I love it, Pat.
I love the confidence.
Even if the first two games are bad.
Matt, I get where you're coming from, but I have like what's a fair amount? Negative 50%. Do I fear Scott Frost? I don't know if the percent was right.
There it is.
I don't know if it was right, but I am negative scared of Scott Frost because the dude is a mouth breather. He's got no idea what he's doing. He has a fluke national title under his belt at UCF, and that's the only thing he's got. I don't give him credit for that.
Do they still have Martinez as their starting quarterback, or did he leave?
No, he's at Kansas State now.
That's
Casey
right.
Thompson.
Okay, yeah,
he's at Kansas State for his 10th year of college football.
That's true.
Never leaves. I think the more that we're talking about it, Mason got me thinking about it. That Clemson defense always showed up ready, always showed up with intensity, always showed up. It didn't matter if they were home or away. They were never scared. They fired off the ball. They blitzed all night. And it is going to be, I think they're going to be ready too, but that's going to be a fun game.
We're just going to blitz at noon instead of at night.
Yeah. So for a couple more years.
The last thing I got on this, and it just made me think about it. With a revamped defense, with a defense that has a lot of playmakers already on it and guys who are going to be bigger, stronger, faster after a year under Schmitty. Think about it this way. Say your defense allows 17 to 20 points a game. You're telling me that my offense only needs to score 21 points a game to win a game? Give me that every time. Every single time. This defense is not going to allow 38 points to Kansas State. They're not going to do it. They're just not. I'm sorry. And I saved the audio. I hope I look brilliant when October rolls around, but I
Patrick
just don't
already wrote down the time slot.
Yeah. This is not the same team from a regime ago. It's not. So you have to stop thinking about how OU doesn't play defense and, we need to score 40 a game to win. No, we don't. We need to score 24 or more.
And I love that point, Mason, but I also think we got to think about it the other side. Like, this is not a team that is probably going to score 60.
Agreed.
Either.
100%.
Like, we don't know yet about DG. We don't know yet. We still have Marvin Mims. Like, we have talent there, but I think this is going to be a team that slows down the game more than we have before and not be as fast. What I mean by as fast is like play calling as fast. So I think we need to expect that. So it's going to be lower games. It's not going to be as like rapid fire. And save the timestamp. I may be wrong, but that's my thought.
I think you're going to be wrong. I think this offense is going to put up points like crazy because that's what Jeff Levy wants to do. Yeah. It's a lot of fast pace, fast moves, shots down the field, and Jaden Gibson is going to eat if he's ready.
Okay, let's move on. We got a new summer segment for you guys this summer. We're going to call it our Undeniable series. We want to give credit to Ryan Heil, loyal listener, sent us a question last week on Twitter asking who was the greatest college football quarterback of all time. Undeniable, no doubt. And it is our job this summer to every position besides offensive line. Sorry, guys. Besides offensive line, we are each going to pick one player who is our undeniable player of all time at that position. We're starting off with quarterback, and I want to go ahead and I want to start with Matt. And Matt, give me your undeniable greatest college football quarterback of all time. Tell me why.
Yeah, it's tough. I was between two people. It's kind of crazy. It was a Texas quarterback, Vince Young, or OU's Kyler Murray. And when I thought about the comparisons, it just came down to an undeniable athlete, and that's Kyler Murray. And I know someone else on this pod is going to mention another Kyler Murray lookalike. He's false. He's wrong. But Kyler Murray, undeniable, the year that he came in after sitting behind Baker Mayfield, throwing absolute darts and dimes, and he's got the athletic ability to be the fastest person on the field, faster than any DB, any safety. He was the reason OU got so far with literally the worst defense in college football. If OU doesn't give up 28 points in the first quarter to Alabama in the Orange Bowl, spotted them 28 points. Who does that? Kyler Murray easily would have won. I'm not sure what it would have.
Oh, we're losing Matt. Uh-oh. Froze. That's okay.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna move on to Mark. Mark, I want to go ahead and hear yours. Okay.
Yeah, baby, let's get it. So I went with the incomparable Timmy Tebow.
Incomparable.
He is.
He is.
I'm not wrong. You can be mad, but you can't tell me I'm wrong. Tim Tebow started his career as a backup on the 2006 BCS National Championship, right? Winning University of Florida team. He backed up Chris Leak, but was a lethal weapon in the red zone that kind of foreshadowed what he would become his sophomore through senior years. During those seasons, he more or less set college football on fire. He won the Heisman Award his sophomore year and broke records, obviously.
Yeah.
Junior, senior year did the same thing. Senior year, he won another national championship against OU, which is tough.
Yeah.
I don't want to
But
talk
basically,
about
the guy was built like a SEC linebacker running against SEC linebackers, and he was bigger, stronger, faster than all of them. In addition to that, he finished his career as the SEC's all-time leader in career passing efficiency, which is something you don't think about with Tim Tebow.
No.
Right?
That's crazy.
The release and the arm haunted him in the pros, but in college football, he was good enough to get it done. His completion percentage was also highest in the SEC all time when he left. He led the SEC in rushing touchdowns by any position by the time he left. The guy basically owned football from the time he stepped on the field until the time he left Florida, and he is undeniably the best college football quarterback of all time.
Mark made a very good point that I want to point out to our listeners. We are not taking into account pro careers. This is simply college football career based. I don't care what you did in the pros. I care about what you did while you were not making any money in college football. That's all I care about. Patrick, we'll go to you next.
All right. Speaking of sophomores who have won the Heisman, there's only one person here. That's the right answer. And that's my guy, Lamar Jackson. He won the Heisman his sophomore year, the youngest ever to win the Heisman with Louisville. Bad team. And he came in and won the Heisman with them. That is incredible. I think if you put Lamar Jackson in any of these other teams that you guys are talking about with your quarterbacks, Lamar also has the same accolades. And that is why I think he is undeniably the best.
Man, I'm so glad I came back when I did. Lamar Jackson, are you kidding me?
No, I don't think you can put Tim Tebow on that Louisville team. Dude, he wins it, but you could put Lamar Jackson in Florida and he wins it.
Dude, have you seen him throw a football sometimes in college?
It doesn't matter. We're talking
what do you mean? What does a quarterback do?
College football.
What does a quarterback have to do? He has to throw a football.
He had incredible passing stats.
Yeah, that's Kyler Murray, but Kyler could actually throw a football. That's the whole difference.
Kyler Murray was also throwing to incredible receivers. Do we know a Louisville receiver from that year?
Devontae Parker.
Besides Devontae Parker?
How are you going to do that?
Mark, how are you
going to name an offensive lineman? Like, probably not. I don't know. The guy was on a bad team. I think he could have played for all the other teams that you're mentioning on your years and still have the same accolades. That's my biggest point to this.
Okay.
It's a really good point. You could take that year of Lamar Jackson and put it against any year of anyone, and
you have
a strong case to make.
Yep.
That said, Football's a 4-year endeavor, baby, and Timmy Tebow stayed them all.
All right, Ryan.
All right, guys. I'm gonna go a little bit further back.
Okay.
For I'm gonna go with Roger the Dodger. Roger Staubach. So
Wow. Okay.
Navy, 1962 to 1964. Old, I know, but won the Heisman, had over 3,500 passing yards over those 3 seasons. And here's the big thing. He went to the Navy and spent 4 years in the Navy, including a rotation in Vietnam. So I got to give it to the guy. I know this is a talk about like college and stuff, and I don't want to get into the NFL stuff, but he did play amazing for the Dallas Cowboys, won 2 Super Bowls, took him there 4 times.
I don't want to get into this.
Yeah,
I just have to explain. I just have to explain. So I just wanted to switch it up a little bit and pick somebody a little bit older.
I think Kyler Murray passed for over Roger Staubach's career yards in the
You also got to think like
Heisman.
There's an incredibly different style of football being played today than there was in the 60s.
Correct. No doubt.
So I
Tim
got to
Tebow
give him
of your guy.
for passing yards.
No,
Is that what you're talking about? Size? Yeah, true.
Okay, so I'll wrap us up, and I have 4 criteria that come to mind when I think of the greatest of all time for college football. Number 1, it's got to be longevity. Number 2, you got to be numbers. Number 3, you have to have a national title to your name. And number 4, postseason accolades. Who has all 4 of those? Matt Leinart from the USC Trojans. It hurts me to say,
Vomit.
trust me, it hurts me to say, but Matt Leinart on those USC teams in the mid 2000s, when they took over college football, when they were college football, they were the epicenter of it all. Who was there? Matt Leinart winning a Heisman, winning a national title, being ranked at the top of the Pac-12 and all of that stuff. And longevity for a career. He had 3 solid years for the USC Trojans and played well in all of those years. So that's my criteria, those 4 things. And I'm going to continue that throughout the summer. And you guys call me out if my guys don't have all 4 of those. But when I think of an all-time GOAT, that's the criteria. And there's one guy who meets it besides Tim Tebow, in my opinion, and that's Matt Leinart. So I think you can make, and that's why I think Vince Young wasn't included on this list. Vince Young doesn't have the postseason accolades. He does have a national title to his name, but he was a shooting star, it felt like. I felt like he didn't have the longevity that a Tim Tebow, that a Matt Leinart had. Yes, Vince Young did beat Matt Leinart's team in a national title, and you got to give him credit for that. But I don't think Vince Young, when I think some of the greatest college football quarterbacks of all time. I just don't.
Mason, I have taken down notes for those 4 things, and I will be watching you like a hawk.
Please do. Please do. I appreciate it. Let us know on Twitter at Program Guys with a Z who your top quarterback of all time is. Let us know. Undeniable is the key word. Undeniable is the key word. So be sure to tweet us at that, comment on our Instagram, comment on our YouTube channel. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, like and subscribe. Always appreciate it. Over 400 subscribers this week on YouTube, guys. Shout out to our loyal viewers. Really appreciate it. And we didn't get to say it. Thank you to Aaron Miller for last week's interview. We really appreciate her coming on for the EPC. Going to try to have another EPC for you guys this week. That's what we call a little tease. We'll see what happens. Okay. Ryan's must watch of the week. Ryan, as I don't want to say quickly as you can, because I feel like I don't want to rush you, but
I'm going to do this fast.
But I enjoy the segment, so I want you to do it.
No, you don't enjoy the segment, Mace. I understand. It's all right. No one likes the segment.
I watch like all of your stuff.
I'm kidding.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. I tried to pick something that more people might have seen. So I recently rewatched the original Jurassic Park, 1993. And I thought this needs to be my pick this week. So you can currently find it streaming on HBO Max, directed by Steven Spielberg. Like I said, made in 1993. Cast Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, Samuel L. Jackson, and Richard Attenborough, who is the brother of David Attenborough. If you guys have ever seen like our planet or whatever they're called.
Planet Earth,
Planet Earth, yeah. So plot here, I think most people probably know the plot of Jurassic Park, but in it, paleontologist Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler and mathematician Ian Malcolm are among a select group chosen to tour an island theme park populated by dinosaurs created from prehistoric DNA. While the park's mastermind, billionaire John Hammond, assures everyone that the facility is safe, they find out otherwise when various predators break free and go on the hunt. Bear the entry here. It's made in 1993, guys. The CGI can be a bit cringe, but it was awesome for its time. So I mean,
forgot that it was 93.
Yeah,
I don't know
years
why.
ago. It's my birth year. So
jeez.
Huge blockbuster. I think if you adjust for inflation, it's made over $1 billion at the box office.
Wow.
So high points. I think just general, the story is really genius. This is something that Steven Spielberg latched on to very, very quickly. It was a book that was being written by, I forgot his name, to be completely honest with you, but he basically got the rights to the book before it was even published. And it's just really creative, like the way that they went about doing it, like an amusement park full of real dinosaurs that they made from like blood that they found in ancient mosquitoes. Like, it's fascinating. And the scenery is beautiful in the movie. Even 29 years later, it was shot on Kauai in Hawaii. Really, really incredible, just views and scenery and luscious green mountains. The action is great. The deaths that happen in the movie matter, and the dinosaurs are legit scary. Like, there's a couple scenes in there that I jumped, and I knew they were coming because I've seen the movie quite a bit. And most of them are animatronics, meaning they're not CGI. They're real dinosaurs that they like put people inside of and like function like big puppets. It's really, really cool. And it's really, really cool practical filmmaking. It's just an action thriller that like rocks, and it's 29 years old and it still rocks. And every time I watch one of the new ones, I really don't like them. And I always go back to the first one and I love it. So, I wanted to include, moving forward with my must watches, I want to include a fun fact in everyone that people might not know about. So fun fact for Jurassic Park. So after shooting Wrapped in 1993 or 1992, Spielberg had to immediately jump into his next film, which is Schindler's List, also a fantastic movie. Jurassic Park needed a heavy post-production lift, so he handed some of those responsibilities over to George Lucas, who was his friend, and is credited in the film of helping him finish it. So
that's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, cool
that
fun
is
fact.
Jurassic Park. Please go watch it if you haven't already. I hope you have, but it's amazing.
One of the greatest quotes of any movie of all time is Jeff Goldblum saying, "Your scientists were more worried about the fact that they could and not concerned with the fact of whether they should."
Yeah.
And I use that quote for like everything whenever science like advance way too freaking fast and stuff, like especially with the AI stuff we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Like that's to a T what Jeff Goldblum's.
I mean, Jeff Goldblum's character is literally an expert on chaos theory. It's so interesting, like how they like brought that into like this world and like why he was one of like the 3 scientists that got to come. It also has an unbelievable meme by Sam Neill when he's taking off his glasses and looking at the dinosaurs for the first time. Just some incredible stuff.
It's perfect. Love it. Love it. We already knocked out our Circle the Wagon segment. Thank you, Matt Gann, for starting us off. Appreciate that. Hot take of the week time. Patrick, he's back from Mexico. He's got the bucket hat. I want to hear it.
All right.
To me.
All right, boys. I've been seeing this way too often. A slogan on a t-shirt branded on with a sports team name of us against the world, like Texas against the world, blah, blah, blah against the world, whoever it is. And it's got to stop. If you want that on a t-shirt, your team needs to be hated by the world. Your team needs to have something about them that stands out and that other fan bases do not like you for. And so we saw someone, Becca and I saw someone in Mexico with a Detroit Lions against the world. Like, no one's coming after you, Detroit. Like people have to walk into your stadium, beat you swimmingly and then walk out of your stadium. Like, just, you don't need to make that t-shirt. But a couple franchises that do come to mind, Houston Astros can use it because every place they go, people hate them.
They literally cheated.
Fair.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Everyone
To this
cheated.
point.
Everyone
To
was
this point.
cheating.
Everyone-
Everyone was
to this point.
cheating.
Secondly, I do think for this period of time, for the next couple of years, Oklahoma against the world, it works. People do not want to see us succeed. They love what happened at Oklahoma, and they think we're done. We're not done.
I have Oklahoma versus the world shirt.
Yeah, which is
I really like it
perfect.
too.
It's great.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you guys have any other franchises or sports teams you can think of that could pull this off?
Ooh, probably the Yankees.
Yeah.
Everybody loves to hate the Yankees. Yankees
Never mind.
versus the world can be a thing.
Cowboys,
I think the
Cowboys,
Cowboys.
Yeah.
definitely.
Duke,
I would
Cowboys
say
aren't even
Duke,
good enough to wear it.
Kentucky, maybe.
Longhorns.
When Calipari's on
Aggies,
his shit,
Texas.
you can throw
No.
Kentucky in there.
No, but
Yeah,
to
Patrick is
Matt's,
saying no.
to Matt's point,
Longhorns and
I thi-
Aggies. for
I
sure.
think the entire state of Texas can use it because Texas thinks that they're their own country to begin
Right.
with. So it legitimately is Texas against everybody.
USC.
So I think they could do USC. Nobody cares enough. You know, they just don't.
Yeah, who's that?
Yeah,
Oh,
like
South
I say with-
Carolina, dude. I'm actually kind of high on them this year. I think they could be good.
Oh,
Yeah.
we know,
Yeah.
Mark.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah.
You're real high on Shane Beamer and Spencer Rattler, baby. We know.
There's
Guys,
a reason
I'm-
Spencer was the number one quarterback prospect this time last year. And a year of growth and internal reflection
Yeah.
will
I'm sure.
only aid him moving forward. We are
Let's-
Team Spencer.
I
on
can't
this
wait to
podcast.
clip. I'm clipping this right now. Patrick, will you write this down for me? I can't wait till we come back to this clip. I think Spencer is going to get. I'm sure he'll have a fine year, but
I don't think he's going to succeed
Well,
either.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, boys.
Wow,
Anybody-
you
want him
guys
to, though.
are
I want him to.
not supportive.
I love
That's
Shane
okay.
Beamer. I love Stogner.
We gotta
Spencer
come up with
Rattler.
something.
Anybody else versus the world? Can anybody else be against the world?
Yeah, Pat, who are you going to allow?
Yeah, who can be against? I love the take, by the way.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those marketing things that exploded because it was catchy. Like the t-shirts that like list all the names. It's like person and person and person and,
Right.
and it's like the long list. It's kind of like that new thing. So I think I agree with you 100%, but I just want to know who is allowed to do it. We named off some, but do you have any others?
No, the Astros and Sooners were my big two. I do
Okay.
think that you guys made some good points. Aggies, though, I won't accept. They're just not relevant enough in the SEC right now.
But
How
is that
about
the criteria?
Team USA in every
I literally thought
international
that,
event.
Mark. Yeah. Everyone
USA
hates the
against
United
everything.
We
States.
the best and we know it.
Yeah.
TJ
Yeah.
Khaled.
DJ. I love it.
And this
Okay.
is this is mildly dark, but I mean Russia could definitely do it.
Okay.
They could.
Whoa.
He's not wrong.
I'm
Cut
not
the
wrong.
Russia propaganda.
Yeah, let's cut it.
Jeez,
Cut it.
Ryan, you better shut up before Ben Stiller comes and wrecks your shit. Do you understand me?
Hey, I'm just making a point.
You know what?
That's right.
Speaking of Mason, you kind of look like Ben Stiller right now, Tyson, with that polo on.
Yeah, I
Are you
kind of
going to-
do.
Do I?
I can see it.
Hey,
Yeah.
Ben
Yeah,
Stiller is
similar
a
polo.
handsome man. Handsome
I can
man,
see it.
great director. You know, that's
Yeah.
what I aspire to be.
Yeah.
Okay. Love
We
it.
love it.
So one day.
Absolutely love it. Patrick, thank you for the hot take, man. Good
Yep.
to have you back stateside.
I'm
The-
happy to be back for
the,
this week.
The states definitely feel warmer with you here. That's for sure.
Takes two.
Takes two. Takes one. Let's move on to our PGP MVPs of the week. I want to go ahead and get started with Mark. Mark, go ahead. Start us off.
Yeah, I will get us going. So my thing, I feel like everyone probably knows that there is an Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show that is out right now. Not going to get too deep into the show, but something that I realized while watching it is I don't really care about the beat by beat pieces of all these shows when they include the characters that are special to me. I just need them to get the moments right. You know, you just need to get the big things right. And someone who always steps up to the plate for Star Wars in those moments is composer John Williams. I don't need to
Great
go
pick.
deep into this, I don't think. I mean, we all know Duel of the Fates. We all know every Star Wars theme song, and they're iconic. You know, the moment the Tatooine little zzz jingle comes on, what you're hearing. And it's that way for every audio cue throughout the movie. Everything is so distinct and everything is so well composed. And his work in this show is the exact same way, just on point every time. So John Williams, love him. He's great.
Mark's
this
must
is
listen
your-
of the week.
This
Yeah,
is your
Mark, you
third.
third in a row.
in a
right?
row.
This is your
I was gonna
third
say,
in a
you're just
row.
really on
You're
the
putting
movie
me out of
train.
the job, man.
Dude, I
What are you
know.
doing? What are you
I'm
doing?
I'm a little more succinct.
Ryan did a good job this week. He
I thought I
hustled
did.
through
I
it.
thought I did really good this
Oh,
week.
Ryan, you're great, man. That
Yeah,
was just
you also threw it.
that was a
Great.
fun one.
But Mark one upped you there. Just he wants you to know that. He went up
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I'll go next. My MVP of the week. Anybody know who Willis Carrier is without looking it up?
They're like a cargo company.
Willis Carrier. He is the inventor
Freight.
of the air conditioner. And he invented the air conditioner in 1902. And he is my MVP because it is hotter than the devil's butthole in the state of Oklahoma right now. A heat index of like over 100. It's miserably hot. It's been hot for 2 weeks. I'm going to the lake this weekend, Lake Skytook. It's supposed to be a high of 102. It's going to be miserable. And I don't understand. I can't comprehend how we as a society lived before air conditioning. I have no idea.
We just
Like,
died.
People just
of
sit
heat
there
exhaustion.
in homes, in clay and mortar homes, whatever the hell they're made out of, and just sat there and stewed in their own sweat, wearing multiple layers. 1902, people. Did you see how people dressed in the 1800s? Layers all the time.
Ridiculous.
People were sweating.
You had to
have
avoid the contact with the sun, though. It was
Dude.
both ways.
Oh,
Because
Yeah.
you didn't have cancer, you just died, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
There's also, I mean, there's a huge chunk of the world that still doesn't have air conditioning.
That too.
So
Yeah,
it's
they
just-
they do. You know,
they survive somehow.
and
Maybe.
they do survive. They do survive. But I'm just saying, in a society like ours, a guy who's fair skinned like me, sitting outside all day, wouldn't work.
Shout out
work.
to Willis Carrier, who probably also agrees that Roger Staubach is the undeniable best quarterback of all time.
Oh man, dude,
That was a good
amazing,
one.
amazing.
Oh, yeah, I still
All right.
got to go with my guy.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Still going with
You
him.
got to
I love
ride
it.
with him.
Certified Texas Longhorn. Good job, Ryan.
Ryan,
Right.
who's your MVP of the week?
Oh no, he went to Navy. I'm
He
stupid.
went
That's
to
right, he went
Navy.
to Navy.
Yeah, he was
Navy.
just a cowboy.
He was
Yeah,
just-
yeah.
Cut it.
My MVP is OU's pitching staff. Cade Horton, David Sandlin, Trevin Michael in particular. We've talked about this a lot. I'm not gonna continue talking about it. They've been incredible throughout this, entire stint in the postseason. But they're coming into the conference. They're coming in the championship series playing lights out, and we're absolutely going to need them to win this thing. So huge shout out to my guys.
Patrick, what about you, brother?
Yeah, I've got Arthur Ray Johnson, the head baseball coach of the University of Oklahoma that goes by Skip. He has been the head baseball coach now.
No,
We
you
talk
got it
a lot
right.
about
Football.
the football coach. So
Yeah,
he's been
Got
the
it
head
right.
coach now for 5 years. One of those years was COVID and was canceled. This guy has gotten a program that is not a baseball program. Like, we're not a baseball school, to the College World Series finals in 4 playing years of baseball. That is absolutely incredible. And I think that, we talk about other incredible coaches that OU has in general, but he is among them as well, especially now. Just wanted to share a quote that was put out this week from him that says, "We talk about winning championships, but my job is to carve my name on their heart, and then you can carve it on the marble." It's really about showing how much you care about the kids. So kids first, players first. A lot of the same things. That seems like a lot of the same things that Brent preaches. So really love Skip.
That's
beautiful.
That's such a cool quote. It reminds me of something that Aaron said last week about Coach Gasso and just sort of the entire program building vibe that seems to exist now. Everyone's together, every
Mhm.
sport is rowing in the same direction in a new kind of way.
And there's a common denominator of who hired all those people, and it's Joe Castiglione.
Yeah.
And you got to
Yeah.
give Joe credit for
King Joe.
for building. He's the best athletic director in the country, and I don't think it's up for debate. I think he is.
I also think our other Joe is doing really great too as president.
He is.
So
He
know,
is.
He's right there, like just kind
Guys,
of.
we weren't going to talk politics.
At least for the programs, he's doing.
I'm not talking about Biden
because his name's Joe.
Yeah. I know. I appreciated it.
But
All
yeah,
right.
like it's really cool. Like you can walk into any locker room at OU and get the same theme with whatever program you're walking into.
It's
and I think that
there's a
says something.
family there.
Yeah.
Also, did you guys see at the end of the game today that usually teams, celebrate when they make the championship series and everybody's excited? Just a normal handshake line for Skip,
Oh, yeah.
for
Yeah.
Skip's team. I do not want to be Arkansas or Ole Miss. I'm telling you right now.
It's business.
Those dudes mean business. All right, Matt, MVP.
Yeah, no, I'm glad I went after Patrick because he hit it on the head. I was going to say Skip Johnson because last year OU was 27-28, and now this year they're in the College World Series. But to give my MVP, we talked about at the top of the show. I have to give it to my boy Rob Gronkowski. He is undeniably the best NFL tight end we will
Amazing.
ever see.
Wow.
If he does retire, he
Wouldn't
will be a
upset.
first Hall of Fame ballot in 2027 when he's eligible. He goes out on 4-time Super Bowl champion, 4-time All-Pro, 5-time Pro Bowl selection, 92 reception touchdowns, the third most, and he's got the most 100-yard reception games by a tight end at 32. He's an undeniable tight end of the NFL. That's my MVP of the week if he does decide to retire.
Pat, thoughts?
Love it.
Do you agree? Love it. You agree? Okay, that's fair. I'm checking on the scores right now for everything. Hold on. Before we get out of here, I want to update the scores. So Arkansas is up 2-1 right now in the bottom of the 6th over Ole Miss. Once again, a reminder: if Arkansas wins on Wednesday night, game 2 between Arkansas and Ole Miss on Thursday, OU will play the winner of that game. That series will start when? Matt, do you know?
I believe Friday or Saturday.
Saturday.
I think it depends on this game.
Oh, it's Friday.
Is it
No,
Friday
it's-
no matter what?
It's Friday. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think.
No, I got game 1 Saturday, June 25th.
Okay,
I
so
got
they get a day in between.
game 2 Sunday, game 3 Monday.
Okay.
Okay, gotcha. That makes sense.
That Saturday is a night game, Sunday's an afternoon game, and then Monday's a night game.
Gotcha.
So be on the lookout for that. Your Oklahoma Sooners, ladies and gentlemen, 2 wins away from a national title. As always, we appreciate you guys listening. Be sure to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at Program Guys with a Z, on Instagram, Program Guys with a Z. Our Facebook page, forgot to mention that at the top of the show, Program Guys Podcast. Post a lot of content there. Be sure to like our page there. And anything else I'm missing, guys? Anything else?
Like and subscribe everywhere, baby.
Like and subscribe everywhere.
It
on
helps us so much.
Wherever you get your podcasts, that's where you can find us. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
YouTube,
wherever.
everything.
YouTube, everything. Appreciate you guys listening. Pat, take us out.
Keep pushing it, baby.